This is Bliss Oasis. Change your thinking, change your life.
I want to know. Everybody wants to know. I want to know. Everybody wants to know. I want to know. Everybody wants to know. Oh, I want to know. Everybody wants to know. Oh! Who made the sun? Who made the moon? Who made the stars? Who made the earth? Who made the water? Who made the wind? Who made the planets of this universe?
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor, and I'm humbled to be here. So thank you so much for the invite. I know we've been really trying to plan this since last year, but I believe 2024 is a good year of also restoration. So I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, welcome. Yeah, as you rightly say, we've been planning for this podcast, this interview for quite some time.
Yes.
And I remember,
Mhm.
and we're going to talk about that later on. You also have a podcast, which you had
Yes.
also invited me, and we discussed quite a bit of things. But we met some. Welcome again after a long time to Bliss Oasis Africa, where we go out our way to tell untold story of ordinary people. It's a new year, and we hope everything is new, everything is fresh, and we have always to look on the bright side no matter what happens. So there's a lot of things that happens in life and in love, passions, and a lot of things. And there are people who go out there to try and make this world, which has a lot of issues, we go out there to try and make it a better place. And for this, we are going to focus on one of them. And that's why we talk about, we go out there telling untold stories, because there's so many heroes and heroines out there who do a lot of things, but they're never recognized. As we know, other media just focus on celebs, politicians, and other people. And so today we bring you a lady who has a passion for a lot of things, and she's got a very interesting name. In fact, she's going to tell us about her name, because at first when I came across it, I didn't know it was a name. I thought it was an acronym of an organization she was working for. But anyway, here we are, and we welcome our guest today. I know her as Sarah. Sarah is the easiest name to mention, but she'll give us her full name. Karibu, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me. Such an honor, and I'm humbled to be here. So thank you so much for the invite. I know we've been really trying to plan this since last year, but I believe 2024 is a good year of also restoration. So I'm super excited to be here.
Yes, welcome. Yeah, as you rightly say, we've been planning for this podcast, this interview for quite some time.
Yes.
And I remember,
Mhm.
and we're going to talk about that later on. You also have a podcast, which you had
Yes.
also invited me, and we discussed quite a bit of things. But we met some time earlier when you had
Yeah.
another project, which you might also want to mention later, about responsible drinking.
Yes.
But we are going to touch on that briefly as we go along. Maybe right now you can just tell us a bit of your background. Tell us your name. Who is Ewoton Longoria? Sarah.
Hey. Okay. My name is Ewoton Sarah Longoria. I know you know me as Sarah.
Yeah.
Ewoton, a lot of people know me as Ewoton Sarah Longoria. So basically, that's it. I have a podcast, Worth Redefined Podcast, and it's all about mental health and definitely understanding who you are, understanding your purpose and identity, and walking in your divine purpose, right? So I usually have different guests sharing different strategies in their line of work and how they've gotten to be in their line of position and how other people, or mainly the youth that I target, can basically walk in purpose, right? So that's basically it for the podcast, and also the mental health seminars that we used to do in regards to responsible drinking, right? And basically having people coming over to talk about how guys can reduce alcoholism and basically walk in the nature of who they are, right? So that was a really good seminar last year. And I'm so thankful that a lot of people showed up who are struggling with alcohol and drug substance abuse. And by God's grace, I really hope that most are working on them. We're still talking or following them up in regards to know how they're going.
Yes.
Hopefully, we'll have more seminars.
Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about that later. But give us a short background. Who is what? Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? And then from there, then we see how you got your interest and passion into counseling and mental health issues so that you could
Right,
do such a podcast.
right. I
Brief
grew up in
background.
Kenya. Yeah, I just grew up in Kenya. Literally went to different high schools and elementary schools that I can say,
Kenya
and
is
also
big.
college.
Kenya is big.
Yeah, like, yeah, it doesn't really, I always feel like it doesn't really matter, like to know. For
To know
me, it's not
exactly
a
where
big
you
deal.
are. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I grew up in Kenya, so thankful for that. Yeah, and I went to different schools, and yeah, that's it. And I studied public relations, and also I have a passion for fashion and design, so I
Okay.
did study fashion and design. Designers trained me, and that's how I ended up doing. It's so amazing because I didn't end up doing public relations, but I ended up in different positions that it kind of helped me.
Mm.
But I've been doing fashion and design for like forever.
So you're also in fashion design?
Yes. I
You
have a
have
clothing line,
Oh,
Ewoton
you do,
Clothing.
you do. Okay, that's nice. So what do you call your clothing line?
Ewoton Clothing Line.
Ewoton. So our viewers
Or
who are interested where can they get this line, this clothes line?
It's on my Instagram at Ewoton Longoria. I'm
Okay.
flying line hopefully this year.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's something I didn't know about.
Oh yeah, for
Although I can
sure.
see you are quite trendy.
Right.
So where did the interest come from? The interest on doing something for for the mentally, health and mental health and so on, and responsible drinking. Where did that idea come from?
Yes. So that's a story. You're interested in knowing that, right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. This happened a couple of years back when I had a friend of mine who was really such an alcoholic, really. Like in the morning, afternoon, the whole day they would be drinking, right? And this is like a smart person with a great future who had a very good life, but alcoholism got a hold of them. They're very close to me, right?
Mm,
And it also kind of affected me because I was always close with them, like I'm someone a part of their life. And that made me actually see or foresee everything that they're going through, how they're acting when they're depressed, when they're drinking, like the negative part of it, which really affected me as a person who is basically in their life, right?
yeah,
So, and at some point, I used to be a help of them to basically push them to be a better person, which they tried for a year, but they went back again to that because they've been doing this all of their life. So I can understand it's kind of hard to come out of it until I decided like to just put an end to that friendship. But it was really hurting me because I really care about the person, right?
mm,
And that's how everything literally folded up, bottled it up, and I came up with that initiative for drinking responsibly. And I also had friends who were also into alcohol and drugs, substance and abuse, and I could see the aftermath of it,
mm,
right? And which was really bad
mm,
because it's like a hiding place. It's like they're putting themselves in a cave to escape the reality of life.
mm,
So it became so dear to me because these people are really close to me and they're really nice people in
yeah,
person if you meet them who
yeah,
have beautiful goals and dreams like you and I.
okay,
But there's something which they've gone through in life and they're
yeah,
trying to basically bottle that up with alcohol or drugs, right? And
mm,
that's why I definitely started this initiative under Jukoma, right? So it's also my big regards to Jukoma, the company Jukoma, for
yeah,
giving me an opportunity to work under them as a brand ambassador for the initiative.
Okay. So
Yeah.
would you, yeah, that's quite, as you rightly say that many people become alcoholic most of the time, start drinking out of maybe pleasure or,
Hmm.
exploration. But eventually when
Yeah.
it's getting to them, they think it's a way to escape reality
So true.
rather than face it. And through this initiative, I'm sure quite a number of people have been assisted, have been helped. Maybe you can talk
Right.
about the success of Jukoma.
Right. Okay. I can say that in regards to the initiative that we carried it out in Kiambu County. So a lot of people, a lot of young men actually really showed up, and that was really impressive. And this basically became an instrument to show us that these people really need help. They need help. It's because they don't have someone to hold their hand or listen to them. Most of them literally want people to listen to them,
Yeah.
right? Um, the group really grew in terms of people coming out talking about how we can help them. Others, they said that the reason why they're drinking is because they don't have jobs. The reason why they're drinking is pressure at home, right?
Mm.
Also, bringing in counselors like you, I remember, who can be able to talk to them
Yeah.
and basically offer that platform for them to feel like they matter,
Okay.
like alcohol or whatever thing they're going through do not define them,
Mm.
right? It's just a thing that they're going through and that they can overcome. It's just a struggle, like any other struggle in life,
Okay.
right? So I can say a lot of people in regards to the guys who came in and also joined the initiative,
Yeah.
there are a lot of numbers, guys who got jobs
Mm.
and they stopped drinking. They're very disciplined.
Okay.
Others have to cut off some relationship friends because the
Mm.
only people that they hang around with are the same people who are also drinking. So nobody's helping anybody. Misery loves company, right?
Mm. And I'm
Yes, I
sure
can say we still, sorry.
I'm sure out of those successful stories, I'm sure you have one or two whom we can host on this show so that they can
Yes,
tell their story.
yes, for sure.
Yeah, maybe
Definitely. Yes,
we can organize for that later on.
yes.
Yeah, so tell us about your podcast. How did it start, and how do you get the idea for doing a podcast
Mm,
again
right,
online? What do you call your
right.
podcast? First of
Okay. Thank you for that. My podcast is Self-Worth Redefined Podcast. So Self-Worth Redefined Podcast was born or created 2 years ago. Yes. That time I was working in a company, a corporate company, and it was a night shift, right?
Mm.
So I remember the person who discovered me, my regards to him. I was at the office, literally, I had a call, and he basically walked in, and I was in a call, right? I think he heard me talk on the phone. And then after that, I saw him going to the boardroom with um, one of the directors, right? And they were looking at me when they're talking. So I was really scared because I was like, did I do something? you know? But they didn't say anything at all. So that thing really bothered me, but I didn't really think about it. The next day, they came in so early to the office. I used to come early to work, and they approached me and they're like, you know what? I think I liked the way you were talking on the phone with the clients. So I'll definitely want us to do a video about our company to showcase the kind of people that we have, the kind of work that we do. So he chose me to like lead the videos and have other people come on the videos and talk about our company, like a marketing strategy, right?
Okay.
And after that, some of my colleagues are like, you know what, Ewoton, I think you're really good in cameras or with cameras or at cameras or on cameras, right?
Mm.
You should really think about doing something, you know? So that really stuck with me for a while. And I was like, okay. After that, I was really thinking about it. I started Googling about podcasting, anything like that.
Mm.
After work, I could come home, really Google about everything. I got a microphone. I was still working, right?
Yeah.
I got a microphone. First of all, before I got the microphone, I was recording with my phone. just trying to like, you know what, things I love encouraging people. It's the thing that I have. Maybe a gift. I love encouraging people when they're down. Friends come to me when they feel like, you know what. So that's how we started. And I got a microphone. I got our set. Sooner or later, I stopped working and I went full time with podcasting. And my the person who discovered the gift in me or led me to the right direction really like is a big help right now. It's someone who holds my hand, encourages me,
Okay.
pushes me to be a better person. So I'm so thankful to him. Every day has a special part in my heart because if that day he didn't notice me, maybe I wouldn't be here right now. Right. So because of him, I am so grateful for that. Like he saw something in me. He saw greatness in me. So what I could be.
Something you
So thank
hadn't
you so
seen
much.
yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much, whatever you are. You know who you are. I
Okay.
appreciate you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you focus only on self-worth, personal, development or something like that?
Right. Not
And
really. I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I've had different people from different positions in terms of work line come to the podcast, in terms of business, artists, in terms of people who do plans or anything, as long as they can empower, inspire, encourage someone. It's like a safe space. Self-worth Redefined is a safe place for people to come and be themselves, share their story, empower people, encourage the youth, mostly the youth, not to give
Okay.
up, to surround yourself with people who see themselves as they can see themselves, push them to be better. It's a safe space. So usually it's a open space for anybody to come in
All
and
right.
share what they can share. Yes.
Okay. So what has been the challenges for you? Maybe when you were starting, of course, maybe you started with your own phone, as you said, before you bought the microphone. What have been the challenges apart from that? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
looking for guests, maybe.
Right. What I can think about the challenges has been mainly, I can say this one thing is people not showing up when you have a meeting with them. You're like, you're gonna show up at 1 p.m. They don't show up. They basically reach out to you later, like in the evening, and you've been waiting for them like the whole time. No communication. So for me, that has also really encouraged me not to give up in regards to, yeah, like it happens, right? So mainly that. And how can I put that? Mainly that, basically, I can say mainly challenge the podcast and also trying to push it, right? Trying to help people push it, which made me mostly rely on God to really help me find my direction. And by the grace of God, it's opened doors for people to come and just help me push it, support it. A lot has been support from people who do not really understand what you're doing, or because they don't understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, right? And I've come to realize you don't have to explain yourself, really. It will
It's
show
true.
itself
So you
in
don't
time.
you don't have to explain
Yeah,
or keep on explaining to every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
yeah, right.
So like how many guests have you had in your show since you started 2 years ago?
Amazing. Yeah, really sorry about this because I've not actually been counting, but
Ah,
I'll count and get back to you.
it's not necessary, but I'm sure you've been on for like 2 years.
Yeah, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years.
And
A
do you have
year
a
and
podcast? Do you have a
8 months right
Do you have a podcast every week?
now. Yes, I shoot like every week. I try and shoot every week,
Yeah, that's a lot
but I've
of.
not shot last month, like
Mhm.
the times for holidays, December.
Mhm.
But I used to make sure I shoot every week.
Mhm.
Consistency is key. So I had to learn to
Very,
push myself
very,
as
very.
to that. Yes.
There may be those who don't turn up when you agree. Have you ever been in a situation where people are crying out for you to call them, asking you to appear in your show, approaching you?
Um,
I'd like to appear in your show.
I have literally, right? I have
You have.
because they really want a space to really just open up
Mm.
and talk. They just want to be heard,
Oh, yeah, it's true.
which
It's true.
a lot of medias or radio stations or shows on TV really do not reach out to just anybody. They reach out to someone who's really known, right?
Yeah, yes, you're right.
That's why I have
And that's
different
what, yeah,
podcasts.
that's also the theme of Bliss Oasis, reaching
Yes,
out to people, ordinary people to give their story, to tell their stories.
yeah,
Now,
exactly.
we've talked about where can somebody find your podcast?
Oh, sure. So thanks be to God, this year I'm going full YouTube. So on YouTube,
Mm,
Self-Worth Redefined Podcast.
mm,
Please subscribe, hit the notification button, and share.
mm.
Spotify also, Self-Worth Redefined Podcast. SoundCloud, Self-Worth Redefined Podcast. Amazon Music, Self-Worth Redefined Podcast. Podcast Addict,
Wow.
Self-Worth Redefined. Everywhere is Self-Worth
You're all
Redefined
over, you're
Podcast.
all over. That's
Yeah,
nice. That's great. That's great. So, as we were chatting earlier on, you told me about this foundation. There's a foundation you are either launching or you already launched,
I'm
and
launching
it's
it.
about way of love or something like that. Can you now speak about that?
Sure, for sure. This is a very good time for me to talk about it. The Way of Love Foundation is in honor of my good friend, a sister, family, one of my best friend, Taylor Jude, who passed away a year ago in regards to an accident, which really disturbed me, right? So
Mm,
she used to have a foundation called Loved and Be Loved Foundation. Yeah, she was located here in Kenya, but she was Canadian, but
mm,
she was located here in Kenya, and she had a passion for it. And
mm.
she did a lot by really doing a lot here in Kenya by visiting orphanages, helping the little kids,
Yeah.
spreading the love of God through that, right? So it was really a passion for her. I could see it.
Mm,
So after that, I just felt in my spirit I should really continue the foundation in her honor, but the name changed, the
mm,
Way of Love Foundation,
mm,
right? Which I feel like we should definitely spread love and kindness. And that's what the Way of Love Foundation is all about. And that's what Taylor would love it to be. I believe so. So that's how the Way of Love Foundation really came in.
And so what is all about? How does it operate and for whom?
As I said earlier, yeah, it's about sharing love and kindness, visiting orphanages, and basically spreading the advocacy for mental health.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes.
So did you say it's already launched or you're in the plan of launching it?
Okay, it's already launched, but it's not launched like everywhere,
Mm,
but it's already there, where it's already founded. We have board of directors who are also helping in this. A few of Taylor's friends in Canada are also
mhm,
like joining in and telling her family and friends about it. So I believe we'll basically get a date that it's gonna be openly or launched, I can say that, but it's already there.
mhm.
Literally. So we're just working on the website right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just working on the website and then we're gonna launch it fully or properly.
Okay.
Yes.
You'll be you said visiting orphanages, giving them
Yes, visiting
help,
orphanages.
counseling
Mm-hmm.
services.
Holding seminars like the ones
Mm.
we had last year
Okay. All
for,
right.
yeah, taking mental health and
Yes.
alcohol and drug substance abuse,
Mm.
how to help people who really need help in regards to quitting alcohol this time. It's about
Mhm.
quitting alcohol and
Mhm.
drugs. So
All right.
we'll be holding seminars. Yes.
So, okay, that's quite something quite good. And apparently
Right.
you are really passionate in those areas, particularly
Thank you so much.
yeah, looking where I met you first last year during this seminar of
Yeah.
Jukoma, and you have helped quite a number of young people, I should say, and I think they are mainly men who are in trouble with alcohol in Kiambu when you
Yes.
had this workshop. And I don't know,
Yes.
would you be able to say like how many were really, you touched, how many came to your seminar, and maybe the percentage of those who have really been helped? Because I'm sure there are always those who really don't benefit because maybe they choose not to. And they give
Yeah.
all kind of excuses in order to go back
Mm,
where they were. So like,
right.
you say this initiative was a success.
Mm,
Like yeah, just tell the Jukoma initiative, going back
right. The
to
Jukoma. Okay. Okay. The Jukoma Initiative support group. I can remember the group. In the group, we have like 67 members, right? That's a lot of
67.
people.
67.
Members. That's the group. Yeah, we did have 67 members
Mm,
who were a part of the Jukoma Initiative. And according to statistics, I can say that since it was literally a start in regards to the seminars, I can just say maybe 15%
mm,
to 10% were really helped in regards to this.
mm.
Yeah, because alcohol is a very such an issue. Because most of them, I remember there's a lady who came and she's like, the kid is really going through a lot. She came to me and she said, can you help me find a psychologist or a counselor for my son? And she came with a son, right?
Mm,
And such cases really needed like rehabilitation centers, right?
mm, mm.
Which someone can really be taken and really worked on or really want to go and really help themselves.
Yeah.
So in regards to that, I feel like it's such a big issue, which really we should really look into by also
Yeah, and again,
support with
this
a lot of
10%.
our people are part.
Mm. If you look at the 6%, okay, you say the 10
Yeah,
to 15%, that's about 7 people or more,
right,
which is
right.
it's a good figure because without this initiative, those people would not have been assisted.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
again, I think we don't have to look at that aspect alone because there's
yeah.
also public awareness. People
Mm,
realize, people understood there are some organizations that out there to help. Even
yeah.
what we call victims themselves realize there's help and they can be helped. And again,
Mm,
there are those who know that, who, as you said earlier on, want to be heard. They want to have a platform where they can express themselves. And
right,
this initiative is going on this year,
right.
is it?
Hopefully,
Hopefully,
it's
hopefully.
gonna go on. Yeah, it'll go on under the Way of Law Foundation. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's great. That's great. That's great. So we have talked quite a bit about, we didn't talk
Mm,
about, you just mentioned about your cross line, but we told people where they can find your designs. We also talked
yes,
about your podcasts and your passion and so on. I don't know whether there's
yes.
anything you may want us to touch on that we have not looked at.
In regards to, I think we've literally talked about anything.
Yeah.
And just as I said earlier, Self-Worth Redefined podcast is going live on YouTube. So
Okay.
I'm excited about that. So we'll start shooting this week. We'll
Mm.
have beautiful guests talking about deep things this time live. So you can be able to listen and watch and also follow their platforms if you need mentors in terms of empower and share the stories on Self-Worth Redefined podcast.
Okay. That's all. I
Yes.
think I think we've run out of not time really, but I think we have asked all the questions we could ask. And again,
Yes.
we are going to post a link to your channels, both
Thank
YouTube
you.
and both YouTube and audio at the
Okay.
at the description below, so that anybody who may want to go to your
Mhm.
channel, they can go and find out more about you. So
Yes.
any last word before we end the show?
Sure, definitely. This is a mantra for me and also on the Worth Redefined podcast team.
Mm,
So, what I can say to anybody out there, never give up on yourself.
mm,
Never give up on yourself. You have you. By the
mm,
end of the day, you have to be strong. You have to
mm,
take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, for you to basically go out into the world and share your gifts and talent. So first, you have to work on yourself. Make
mm,
sure you're okay mentally, spiritually, and not just do not ever give up on yourself.
mm.
Yeah, they say that when you hit rock bottom, the only way is up, right? So you can never go anywhere
It's true.
farther than that. Yeah,
It's
so
true.
please, guys, do not give up on yourself. You
Mm.
matter and you have a purpose and plan in this life. And God loves you so much.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. That's great. Never ever give up on yourself. You have you to work up with. And there are people all over, including Ewoton and the foundation, to help you. You're never
Yes,
alone. As a famous
yes,
football team slogan says, you'll never walk alone.
yes. I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Ewoton, for coming to our show. And I will, as I
Sure.
promised, will post those links to your YouTube channel so that anybody interested can come and watch what you do.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such an honor to be here, hoping to come back again. It was
Yeah,
amazing. I hope this was a blessing to somebody out there.
great, great. And I think we will look out for you so that you can also lead us to one of those beneficiaries of the program, the people who are
Sure.
out of drunkenness and now are being productive and help to themselves and society.
Okay. Anytime.
Yeah, so thank you very much and God bless and all the best. And thank you again for coming to
Thank you
Bliss
so much,
Oasis.
Mr.
All right.
Ngugi. Have a great day. Thank you for having me. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Well, now